It's Monday, 22nd of December 2025. We're talking farm attacks and farm murders in South Africa for November 2025. And as you could see on the intro, 19 attacks, 5 farm murders. With, at the bottom of the screen, you'll also see that was added there, the 4 attacks that was averted. Comparative figures for November 2024, 15 attacks, only 2 murders. The modes of attack for November 2025 was blunt object trauma, 2 attacks, sharp object trauma, 3 attacks. Firearms were used in 8 attacks. There were 1 case where there was multiple armament used. There were 2 kidnappings, and 6 of the cases, the armament of the perpetrators were not specified. Let's have a look at the breakdown. There you can see it on the screen. The Gauteng region, 3 attacks. It was distributed all over Gauteng. The Kameeldrift West area has been surprisingly quiet the past few months, with more delinquency, the cutting of fences and a bit of breaking and some people trespassing, but not something that was very, very serious. Northwest, 3 attacks, 2 murders. Limpopo, 1 attack, 1 murder. Mpumalanga, 3 attacks. The Free State, 3 attacks, 1 murder. KwaZulu-Natal, also 3 attacks, 1 murder. Eastern Cape, 2 attacks. Western Cape, nothing to report. Northern Cape, 1. Namibia, also nothing to report. Let's have a look at the details. For Gauteng West, only that 1 attack that was locked. That was on the 12th of November. The worker walked into the house and he encountered the intruders in the kitchen. They assaulted him with a brick and then fled. They came from the mountain which was behind the property, and they fled back into the mountain. And the other side of this mountain is the Pretoria West Atteridgeville area, and the attackers presumably came from that area as well. For Gauteng North, on the 16th of November, intruders entered the house. They tied up the occupants before assaulting them and robbing them. And that was the only details that we got out of this attack. The Gauteng East area has been very, very busy since the beginning of last year. In the first 6 months of last year, there were some 8 attacks in that area. The Bronberg Dairy was hit again after that same area was hit, I think it was in January. The workers were held hostage and were robbed, and then the robbers made off with several heads of cattle. The first case for the Northwest Province was on November the 1st, 2025, and that was in the Hartbeespoort area. The Vermeulen family was out for the day, and upon return they noticed irregularities with the electric fencing. The 17-year-old victim walked out to investigate and was overcome by 4 trespassers. Warning shots were fired, but the victim was bundled into a car and kidnapped. He was taken to an unknown location where he was tied up in what looked like a pump house with wires coiled around his neck. He was told to keep quiet, else they would cut out his heart and feed it to him. He later managed to untie himself and fled through the bushes, and was later found calling for help at a gate to a farmhouse not far away. He was taken in and assisted to get the wires off his neck. Services were called, but the security company had to drive him to the police because the police did not have a vehicle to send out to this case. The second murder for the Northwest Province was at Mamogale's Kraal, which is in the Brits region. The deceased was found by his son inside his house on the Saturday morning. He was shot and was already deceased. Only his .38 revolver was missing. At around 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the Saturday the 29th of November at the farm Kudeskop in the Baltimore area, Atmana's wife went out to feed the dogs when she was overcome by 2 perpetrators wearing balaclavas. She was tied up and taken inside the house where they waited for her husband to return from his cattle. He was expected between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock as he wanted to watch the rugby. When he entered the house, he was tackled to the floor and tied up before taken to the bedroom where he was assaulted while his wife was tied on the other side of the bed. She could not see anything as she was facing the opposite way. He was brutally assaulted before the attackers left. While they attacked him, he still pled for the life of his wife and that they not hurt his wife. After the attack, she was talking to her husband for a while before he finally fell silent. It took her an hour to finally untie herself and call for help. She was admitted for observation and discharged with minor injuries. Witnesses to the scene described it as virtually impossible to recognize the body of a white man. there was a lot of blood. In the Bulpan area, which is to the west of Witbank, on the 9th of November, the fifth attack in this area occurred since the beginning of October. And the same perpetrators, which was recognized by the workers, carried out this attack. They first breached the dwelling of one worker, which was approximately 10 meters from the house. Shots were fired, but the worker was tied before they proceeded to the house where the front door and safety gate was breached. The farmer shot at the intruders and fire was returned from 3 directions, and he was wounded in the arm. He was assaulted with the same iron bar which was used to breach the gate and then tied up and the house plundered. The loot was removed on a trailer pulled behind his own vehicle. On November 11th at Langenhoven Farm in the Delmas area, an alert was issued about trespassing on the farm, where a group entered the farm and closed gates, effectively halting the operations and preventing workers from carrying out duties. They insisted on speaking to the owners about undocumented workers and demanded to see this documentation. There must have been prior knowledge of this. Management removed the workers to safety, and the group dispersed in the direction of Delmas and Waaikraal around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. On the 25th of November at the Javerland Agricultural Holdings outside the town of White River, a house robbery was reported, and when the responders got there, the perpetrators had already fled in a vehicle in the direction of Spionkop. Suspects were observed in a red Golf, and the suspects fled in the bushes. Backup was called, and it was learned that the vehicle was stolen in the town of Sabi that morning. The alarm was sounded from a trial cam, and teams investigated, finding a suspect and stolen property. On November the 1st, 2025, in the district Heilbronn in the Free State, during an attack, a farm worker was shot and killed before his wife was raped and stabbed several times. The attackers then stole a number of sheep and fled. Services were alerted and roads were cordoned off, and the minibus with the attackers was stopped. 11 arrests were made before 23 head of stock was recovered. On the 21st of November at the farm Rudekop in the Ventersburg area, a house was breached by forcing entry through a window and burglar bars that was removed. A struggle ensued between the victim and the perpetrator, and the victim sustained injuries consistent with blunt force trauma during the assault. Dogs were also poisoned, and the perpetrators fled on foot empty-handed. On November 23rd, 2025, at the farm Panorama in the Senekal area, a perpetrator forced entry into the house through a door while the family was in church. Upon their return, the man entered the house and encountered the perp pointing a gas pistol at him. A struggle ensued, and after which the perpetrator fled. On November 8th, 2025, at Kwaheri Farm in the Boshoek area of KwaZulu-Natal, Mike Pryor, who apparently lived alone in the house and managed the farm, was kidnapped out of his house on Saturday night, and his burnt remains was discovered in his vehicle at Mpopomeni on Sunday morning. Early facts pointed out that a disgruntled farm worker might have been responsible. On November the 9th, in the Glencoe area, the victim of this case encountered the suspects earlier on his property when they asked him for a lift. Later, he was held at gunpoint before being bungled in the back of his pickup truck. One of the armed suspects took the wheel and they sped off. One of his workers on a tractor saw that the stranger was driving the vehicle. He tried to ram it with a machine, and a shot was fired, but no one was injured. The victim was later dropped off, and the vehicle was later found back at Karabrik on the R68. On November the 20th at Lindfield Park Agricultural Holdings in the Ashburton Camperdown area, which is close to Pietermaritzburg, the door to the house was forced open, and the man, his wife, and 2 daughters and grandson were held for 2 hours. They were threatened, money was demanded, and valuables looted. The attackers also inquired about the main house. Minor injuries to the wife and 1 daughter was sustained while they were kicked while lying on the floor. Perpetrators fled on foot. We move over to the Eastern Cape, where on the 7th of November at the Tluleka Game Farm, 5 intruders entered the game reserve and held the security guard at gunpoint to convince the reserve manager to open the house. One suspect was armed with a rifle, the other with a handgun. They shot the manager in the leg, forcing her to open the safe. after which 4 rifles were stolen. The woman sustained a gunshot wound to her right thigh and was admitted for treatment. The suspect fled the scene in the reserve's Isuzu pickup truck, which was later found abandoned. On the 14th of November at Elton Farm on the K Road in the Stutterheim area, the specific farm has got a huge problem with the theft of pigs, and the measures were implemented to curb these activities. During a patrol, suspects were noted and the guard investigated. Suspects approached the guard and opened fire, hitting the guard 4 times in the abdomen and arms. The guard was admitted for treatment and the perpetrators fled the scene. On the 4th of November at Karreebos Wind Farm in the Northern Cape, and you can see the 2 maps of the Northern Cape and Western Cape are overlapped on the screen because it was very close to the provincial boundary. Unknown men approached the on-duty guardhouse and threatened the security with firearms before assaulting them. Officers were forced into the site office where windows were broken to gain entry and several items were stolen. Suspect fled but was followed by a security vehicle who alerted the authorities. So, South African Police Services in the Western Cape were also notified. A fleeing vehicle was intercepted by SAPS Laingsburg in the Touws River area and 5 suspects were arrested. The firearms that was recovered turned out to be toy guns. In South Africa, the saying goes, 1 farmer that's been killed is 1 farmer too many. 5 people that we lost for November is a very, very heavy toll. And this is the things that we experience in South Africa in rural territories each and every day. Each and every day is a challenge. Each and every day is a matter of looking after your safety and making sure that you get through the day or through the night alive. Thank you for watching. Please share this video abroad, especially so that the plight of South African farmers can be known around the world. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Your support in this matter is highly appreciated. Thank you.